I'm trying to like dodge the sun because we normally don't podcast during the sunset. So I'm.
You look great.
Bobbing and weaving.
You look great. You look better lit than I do. I don't think I look well lit.
You do sit in a windowless room full of sad curtains behind you.
There we go. That's a little better.
Nice.
You just don't want
I think you look good.
Too many shadows on my face.
Yeah, I've always said that you look good. There's no one that gasses you up more than me. Maybe Phoebe.
I think she got it. Do you know? Okay, our anniversary was right when we got back from the pilgrimage. Did you know that?
Yeah, December 31st.
Yeah,
No.
yours is in a couple of days.
July 31st.
Yes, July 31st, and yours is the 10th, right?
No.
11th, 3rd, 7th.
Yay!
Yeah.
First try.
Dude, we have an octave between our. Dude, that is a heavy pour. Holy shit!
No. This is not all whiskey.
Thank God.
This is whiskey up to here, and then ginger ale all over. You thought this whole thing was alcohol?
It did. It just looked like it was the.
It's a Wednesday.
It's the shade of alcohol. It was like, holy cow! It looks like a full glass of just whiskey. That's what it looks like. Oh my god! It's
whiskey and ginger ale.
Is that your go-to, huh?
It is now.
Had a lot of those at the Holy Land?
Ever since the one in the tiki cup.
You did have a lot of whiskey ginger ales in the Holy Land.
Mm-hmm. I had one. A total of one.
You had several.
Anyway.
It was... Did you know that like everybody on the last night ordered an amaretto sour? Oh, yeah. The look that my wife just gave me was harrowing.
Wow.
I feel really bad. This is dumb.
I just saw you melt into a puddle.
I was like, sorry, Phoebe.
We all know who wears the pants in this marriage.
When it comes to the baby crying, absolutely.
Yeah. Every guy who runs a podcast just fears the moment when the wife walks in and it's like, can you please keep it down? It's like
quiet down.
All of a sudden, all of the self-importance just gets gone. It's
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Welcome to The Crunch, the only podcast that got arrested in the Holy Land. It's your boy, Ethan.
And I'm Patrick, and I'm so excited for this thumbnail.
It already happened. They did the thumbnail. Ryan uploaded the thumbnail today, and it's of me. It was we went to the I think he named it. We accidentally went to the Holy Land, and it's the one of me getting arrested with a little arrow. But the arrow points to the West Bank, so I don't know if some people are going to see that and get all upset. I know. Now, the greatest thing about this trip is that I finally understand what Palestine is. Because for the longest time, I had no idea what Palestine was. And I pretended, I was like, oh yeah, the Israel-Palestine conflict. Very serious.
Very serious conflict.
But if you had asked me 14 days ago to define Palestine, I couldn't have done it. I would have been like, look over there. And then a cloud of dust shaped like me would have been remaining when you turned back around.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think I had a foggy idea of what it was. I had a general understanding that there was a Jewish Muslim tiff
situation. Yeah.
Situation over there.
Yeah,
and then Jordan's in the mix.
And we're talking
in the mix.
And if you go too far, you're in Syria now, and we know that Syria is bad because it's Captain America 3 Civil War over there.
Yeah,
and that's not very good. Is that still going on? That was big for a while.
Captain America 3 Civil War. No, I think they stabbed that guy in the butt and it's done.
They stabbed him in the butt.
Muammar Gaddafi. When we were in high school.
No, he's not. He's not in Syria.
Gaddafi's dead. When we were in high school, we used to stab each other in the butt with pencils and say Gaddafi'd, which is how high schoolers handle world events.
So funny.
I know.
Do you remember when Trump announced the death of the guy that was in charge of ISIS?
No.
We got him, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. It was just really funny to hear him pronounce all of the syllables.
That's his Bin Laden moment.
In his own special way. Oh man.
Was that you looking up how to say that guy's name so you could imitate?
No, I just looked up what it was because I didn't want to just string together. I'm more culturally sensitive now. Travel has changed me.
Yeah,
where before I would have said Babu Ali Babi Kabu. Like I would have done that.
Ali. Yeah, you would have done that.
Yeah, I would have done that, but I learned now that that's wrong. And that
because I tried it. I tried it at the Jordan River, and I got arrested by a young girl with braces and a machine gun
and an AK-47.
Oh my gosh! Now that we're stateside and back in a land of freedom of speech, can we talk about the IDF for a second?
Let's do it because,
guys, it's crazy.
What an interesting situation. So on our final day, we're going to talk. How about this before we get into any of this other stuff?
Imagine if instead of graduating from high school and getting $10,000 in student debt, you got a gun that you just walked around with.
You said that as if it was like a worse option.
I didn't. But it feels. There's no value judgment here. Just imagine if you got a gun.
I kind of am a fan.
Based?
Maybe. Based?
Maybe. Or cringe.
I guess maybe cringe.
A little cringe.
Well, there's a lot to say about the pilgrimage on the whole, and there's just a lot to say about travel. If you are interested in our thoughts about what we did every day, and you want to hear about all the places that we went and our spiritual reflections, and hear from different people in our group that we interviewed.
Sorry, we went on a pilgrimage to the Holy Land.
We went to the Holy Land.
Not everyone knows that.
Our episode last week on Sunday was an interview with the priest that came with us, Father Adam Potter, who's amazing. So we interviewed him, and we talked about our first day. So we did one of those actually every single night of the whole pilgrimage. So there's, I think, 7 more of them. They're all going to be on our Patreon, and we're going to release one a week for the next however many weeks until they're all up. If you join at the $10 a month and up level, you can listen to those and kind of journey along in the pilgrimage with us. They were a ton of fun to make. They're really cool, really interesting. We just wanted to reward those people that supported us in getting there in the first place with a little bit of content about the pilgrimage. So
yeah,
that's where you can find all of the in-depth, spiritual, detailed stuff about it. You're not going to regret it because I think there's some of the best episodes that we've done. We've got the live audience there. We're talking to people. Everyone's laughing. We're all having a good time. Some very hilarious moments happen that you can't even. It's hard to describe.
We interviewed our tour guide.
Oh, dude.
You know, he was
highlight of my life, dude.
I thought that Hani didn't want to come on the Pilgrimage podcast because he was like, this is kind of cringe, but he was nervous.
He was nervous. He was scared. Did I tell you he texted me and asked me to send him the link to the show?
Really?
Yeah.
Did you send it to him?
Well, he asked, can you send me the link to the podcast? I said, do you want the link to your podcast or do you want the link to the podcast? Like, I didn't know what he wanted, and then he hasn't responded. So
send him both.
I'm going to send him. Well, the other one hasn't been uploaded yet. So I gotta,
sure.
It needs to be exported and
we can send him the share link if he wants.
Dude. Now that's a good idea. This sun is really bothering me. I think I'm going to stand like this.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Yeah, so we're not going to go into I'm glad that we did the Pilgrimage podcast because it would be a little much for us to talk at length every week about the Pilgrimage forever because it was an incredible experience. I mean, it was just
there's more things to say than we could possibly dream of. And the nice thing about it is that we were saying it in the moment as it was happening, and so you get it just like the raw experience of it instead of us after having traveled and now we're back in our normal lives trying to like recount it. It's way better the way that we did it. So
it's great. Yeah.
Throw us $10 if you listen to all of them over the next, month and a half as they come out, and then you want to cancel your Patreon, you can. But if you want to continue your Patreon subscription and help us continue to grow the show because we need more money, then you can do that. You can stay on if you'd like. So that's the pitch. But you were talking about the IDF.
Yeah. I don't want to talk too much about it, but they all had braces. They all looked so young.
They're all just kids. They
were wearing like basketball shorts and Birkenstocks. One of our group members went into the gym and these two guys came in with machine guns, and they put them down to like work out. Then they left the room with her alone in the room with the guns.
So Anna was just in there working out, two guns up against the wall.
Yeah.
And then she started blasting.
Well, there were 4 guns in the room because, you know.
I did a push-up contest against her, and she lost. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Kind of embarrassing.
Feats of strength over here.
Yeah, we did a lot.
I beat you swimming. That's crazy.
That was, well, you are longer than me. So.
That's true. Father Adam wiped the pool with us both.
He did.
The man is a specimen.
Oh my gosh, he's so strong.
He's so cool.
He's so limber. He's so lithe, I would say. He's like the type of guy that, like, man, if I had to pick a champion to battle in some type of ring, then I would choose him. He's got the big beard. He's got the reach, you know what I mean? Yeah. And he's got the strength. And so it's like, man, you give that guy some bloodlust and it's over for whoever's on the other side. You go in
thinking you're going to grab him by the beard, but he doesn't even let you get close because his reach is just crazy. He just knocks you back. You have no idea.
My youth minister would always tell a story back in the day about how he had a friend who was about that build, but way not as muscular. Mm-hmm. And he was convinced that he could win in a boxing fight. So he entered into like the featherweight category because he was so tall and lanky, but so skinny. And this short little Mexican that was just jacked, he was fighting against him, and his name was Julio, and Julio knocked him out in one punch.
That's crazy.
So that's what I always think of when I ever hear like tall guys be like, oh yeah, I get him. I could have some reach on him. Like I could have some reach. It's like, no, he's going to get inside your reach and he's just going to knock you lights out.
He's going to lay you out. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very funny. That wouldn't happen to Father Adam though.
If your strategy when you're going into a boxing match is, oh, I can just like not let him hit me. It's like, good. Yeah. Good idea. Yeah. But if they hit you, you're done. Good strat. Yeah.
It's also really hard to not get hit.
Exactly. That's my point. It's like you gotta be able to take a punch. Yeah.
Muhammad Ali is like famous for his ability to evade punches in a way that no one else could. And so it's like, if everyone could do it, then everybody would do it. But there's only one guy. Smoke like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Smoke like a butterfly.
Is that not what it is?
It's float.
Oh.
In what world do butterflies smoke?
I always thought that they were just like relaxed. You know? Just like hang out with your bros like a butterfly. And then the bee comes, when you're done smoking, it's time to strike.
It's time to get stung by a bee. That's what it is. Smoke like a butterfly.
What time how did your return go? Because I know we both made it home, obviously, but what ended up happening to you?
Yeah, so we like landed from London to JFK. We landed and all of our flights were canceled. And, like everyone was canceled. Everyone was at least delayed. So we were delayed by like an hour, and then it kept getting pushed and pushed and pushed. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to spend the night. Yeah. But it only got delayed. It got delayed until like 11:15, and we got on the plane at 11:15, and then I like fell asleep. And woke up at 12:15. We were still on the tarmac.
Dude.
I know. It was
brutal.
Awful. So we ended up landing in Orlando at 3:30 in the morning. And Sean
Did someone come pick you up? Sean came and got you?
Sean got us, and we got home at 4:30. So that helped with the jet lag a little bit because by the time we landed, it was basically time to go to sleep in Israel. So
Right. That's true. That's a good point. I had something similar happen in terms of waiting on the tarmac. So I had a flight that got delayed. It was like 7, 7:30, 7:45, 8, 8:30. Then finally we're on the plane. We're on the plane, I think, from like 8 to 9. Like we're just sitting there. And I was losing my mind. Like I was asleep. I turned on Indiana Jones and the Crusaders of the Last Rites. And the third one. I turned on the third one.
Temple
and I fell asleep. And I fell asleep during it. And I remember waking up because a guy like back into the left of me was like, why are we moving? Like he was clearly very upset, but he didn't make a whole ruckus, but like we had just been sitting still for an hour. And I was like, dude, I get it. Cause I want to go home. Yeah. I don't want to miss this next flight. And the whole time it was like really close. Like, am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? Because my flight in Charlotte kept getting delayed too. So I just kept getting these little glimmers of hope of like, oh, maybe I'm going to make it. Maybe I'm going to make it. And then by the time I got there, I was walking through the airport, refreshing the the thing on the app, and then it said departed, and I was like, oh, I thought maybe because it said like delayed, and then finally said departed, and I was like, man. So I was in Charlotte at like 11:30. My plane had just left. I didn't make it. I was so mad. So we had just left like 10 minutes earlier. I would have been on the plane back to Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But I was not. So I had to. There was this was crazy. I don't know. I don't understand why all these people were waiting in line at the customer service desk. This was bonkers to me because the line for the American Airlines, they would give you a voucher or whatever. It was like 3 hours long. I don't know. Well, maybe it wasn't 3 hours, but there were a ton of people waiting.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw this noise. I'm just going to call a hotel and book a room and then figure it out later.
Yeah.
And then by the time I called, booked, Ubered to the hotel, the manager was picking up the phone as people were calling. He said, no, sorry, we're booked. We're booked. So if I had waited in the line to get a voucher, I would have had to sleep in the airport.
Yeah.
But I was resourceful.
Yeah, because they'll refund you if you do it on your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we had travel insurance with the pilgrimage, so I just submit it through that, and then we're good to go. But I got a flight.
And you can submit it through them, and then you can make American Pay, and then you actually make money.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, I should do that.
I don't think you should do that.
No, I shouldn't. And then the next morning, I tried to book a flight through Southwest, and then that flight got delayed. And so then I canceled that flight, got refunded, and then I booked another American flight, and then that flight got me home. But I went to Mass. What's up?
They didn't put you on another flight, even though you missed your return flight?
Well, I didn't stand on the line.
Oh,
so like I
see.
I didn't call the customer service. I just didn't do anything. I just did it all myself because I wasn't gonna be on hold. I wasn't gonna wait in the line. I just got back to my hotel room. I will not
sleep in the pod. I will not eat
No, I'm not gonna eat the bugs. I'm not gonna sleep in the pod. I just did it myself, and I was like, if I lose $500, I lose $500. I don't care. I want to go home. Like I want to see my family.
Yeah, I get it.
That's where I was at. So, like I don't think you understand how much I despise interacting with bureaucracy of any kind.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it is worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars to me to not have to like wait and like give my information and like have them tell me here's what I can do for you. Here's what I can, like, I would rather jump off a bridge.
I get it.
Into a safe body of water that I would land in and be alive after I jumped, to be clear.
Everyone was all mad at me on the pilgrimage. Like, Patrick, stop jumping off causeways. Ethan doesn't even know what a causeway is.
I don't know what a causeway is. I thought it was something Obama made up. But I went to Mass at the Charlotte airport. Dude was just making up prayers.
Really?
Have you ever had this?
No.
He skipped the whole Eucharistic prayer and skipped right to the part where they do the epiclesis, And you take this, all of you, and eat of not the epiclesis. What do you call that?
The words of institution.
The words of institution. He just skipped to that. We didn't really do. We'd skipped the Gloria. We did have time for a 10-minute homily. Interesting. And then we couldn't do. He said no communion on the tongue. So I was like, well, I didn't want to cause a scene. I never know what to do in those situations. 'Cause it's like I could insist, but then what if he says no, stand up, and I'm just sitting there with my tongue out. Anyway. But he was just not even the words of institution. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not what the words are.
What did he say?
In the book. He didn't say anything wrong, but it like the actual words, take this, all of you, eat of it. This is my body, which will be given up for you. Like that was correct. But then like everything else around it was not right. Yeah, and so it's like, I was like, I don't know. I just trusted you. Like, Jesus, you're in control. If this is wrong, you're in charge.
Definitely wrong, but at least he said the words of institution. At least he did a sacrament.
Yeah, but it was, oh man. And then he had the audacity to ask for money at the end. He was like, oh, we can only do this because, of the support of all the people that come through here. I'm like, I'm not giving you money if you're not saying the mass right. What are you talking about? Come on.
Say the words next time.
And his whole thing was like, oh, it's got to be 25 minutes because we got to get you guys out of here. It's like, you can say the mass in 25 minutes. You just can't give a loquacious homily.
You can't give a 10-minute homily. Yeah. It's like, that's the.
Anyway, so that was frustrating, especially after coming from all of Father Adam's masses, which were impeccable.
And he did a 25-minute mass.
He did.
In
the tomb of Jesus.
That was crazy.
Patreon.com/thegrudge.
I have been praying the rosary and like using like our experiences together on the pilgrimage have been so fruitful.
Nice.
Like the meditation on the resurrection is like me sitting in that room with you and with my friends. You know, like that's really cool.
That is pretty cool.
It like adds an element that was not there before.
Yeah.
Of like communal experience of the mysteries.
It's like the apostles. They lived it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We like kind of lived it, but we lived it in such a way that when we really wanted to enter into it, an angry Franciscan would chase us out of the room that we were in.
When they say the Franciscans have custody of the Holy Land, they're not kidding. You're not allowed to have it. You're out.
They're not kidding. I have several pictures on my phone of priests kicking me out of places because I was really taking photos, and then it's like a blurry priest coming at you. It's like the Scott Hahn photo, but it's Father Ostentatious, coming at me. I don't know their names.
Father Ostentatious of the Holy Face.
Yeah. So other than that, what's going on? How are you? It's been a while.
It's been nice to get back to work, back to the real world, see my son, my lovely wife.
Yeah.
Feel like I needed a vacation, I needed a couple of days at Ron Beach.
Was that a vacation?
Yeah, it felt like it after the fact.
Oh. I didn't feel like it was a vacation.
No, what'd you feel like it was?
I felt like we were working.
Did feel kind of like work.
And it was like, it wasn't leisurely, like the evenings were nice. But it was still like, we got to go to dinner, we got to record the podcast, we got to do this. And then like, you maybe had a couple hours at the end, maybe, to like hang out and chat with people. But even then it's like, I miss my wife and I miss my kid and I'm tired and, I'm sunburned.
A change is sometimes as good as a rest. Hey, listen, I was not sunburned. Do you see this?
I didn't get sunburned either. The biggest shock of the whole trip that neither of us walked away with a higher likelihood of skin cancer.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Oh, well, what? So we're on the podcast now. Do you have anything on your mind?
No, not much has happened outside of the pilgrimage.
You seen that crazy stuff with Lizzo?
Dude.
I'm saying.
I knew it the whole time. Something about her, just I got a little bit of banana vibes, you know what I mean?
Dude. I just can't, I'm struggling with the logistics of it.
I need everyone here to come very, very close and look at me dead in the eye. If you don't think every powerful, famous, wealthy person that you know and admire isn't into some weird, like, degenerate sex thing, you're living in a candy land. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
They're all crazy people. You know
They
have more money than King
God.
David. Yeah. They have more money than any king from the first century.
Right.
And all the time in the world. They have no restraint. They have no human restraint, and they have no virtue. It's like there's stop being surprised when this stuff happens.
Dude, the thing that's been so
come to the dark side and join the Catholics, where we don't.
Yeah,
we're not surprised anymore.
Get black-pilled on celebrities. The thing that's been so frustrating to me is all these tweets have been popping up in my For You page. Sorry, all these X posts have been popping up in my For You page, which is another stupid thing that happened while we're gone. Everyone's like, oh no, the Twitter logo is so unique amongst all the other social media logos and it's going to be gone. It's like, shut up. Who cares? It's not you. How about you buy the app if you want to do something with it?
Elon, the changing it is dumb. They're dumb. Everyone's dumb. It's all dumb. In my opinion.
It was so cringe to see all these people like crying over the brand of a social. It's like it's a marketing decision, and you're mad about it. It'd be like if McDonald's changed the hue of the yellow on the signs, and everyone was like, "I like the original McDonald's arches." Like, you're such a shill.
I think it's funny that now every dictionary that included the word tweet is outdated.
Yeah, that is really funny.
It's an incredible
poor Merriam-Webster.
It's an incredible feat of linguistic. It's an incredible linguistic feat to add something to the dictionary, and to buy an organization that's responsible for that, and then just be like, never mind, is really funny.
That is really funny.
He sat on the x.com domain for years. He's just always wanted to do it, and now he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And it's like, that's just this is what I mean. Is like rich people have so much money that they can just change the fabric of, like, they can change a thing in the world.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't matter. And it's like, it's just crazy. And you just can't do anything about it. You can't get mad about it. You can't support it. That's also cringe.
I, for one, am in favor of African Americans chasing their dreams. Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't roll your eyes at me.
When I was in high school, we had a friend who was from South Africa, and we used to make that joke all the time. I thought it was so clever.
It is clever.
And then now it's just all over the place because Elon's South African.
Who? I was talking about someone else. Eldon Musk. I think the X is cool. Fight me if you disagree.
How long until Elon goes on pints? How long?
Pints with Aquinas?
Yeah.
How long until Elon goes on? Well, I think a better question is how long until Matt Fradd joins the Daily Wire, and how long until Elon goes on the Daily Wire. You know what I mean? I think that's the more likely.
They're never getting
crossover.
He's never going to sell out.
I don't know. Did you see how big Steven Crowder's contract proposal was?
I did.
How much was it? It was like $50 million?
Yeah. Which
is crazy.
Matt doesn't have that kind of pull.
No, but if you adjust it, pro rata.
If that's the kind of celebrity they're trying to get, I don't think Matt Fradd's going on the Daily Wire anytime soon.
Let's just do some conservative math real quick.
So to speak.
Steven Crowder. He's got 1 million followers on Instagram, and on YouTube he's got almost 6 million subscribers. So Matt Fradd, I don't think he does Instagram. No. He's got 377,000 subscribers on YouTube. So if we go calculator 377,000 divided by 6 million 0.062. So Matt has 6% the size of audience. So 50 million times 0.0628. I mean, that would be a $3 million contract for Matt.
Pennies. I'll buy him. I'll buy Matt Fradd right now.
Yeah, I'm going to call him up. I'm going to give him an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, Matt,
free Vegemite for years.
$3 million in Vegemite.
$3 million Vegemite, and we resuscitate Steve Irwin.
Retail.
What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about the Lizzo thing. We're talking about the Lizzo thing. I think it's so ridiculous that everyone's like, oh my gosh, it's people saying things like, I don't normally idolize celebrities, but this one is really hitting me hard. And it's like,
I don't believe you.
It's like, I don't normally idolize celebrities, but I really thought that Lizzo couldn't do anything wrong. And now I don't know what to believe. Yeah. I've seen so many tweets like that pop up in my feed where they say like, I'm not this kind of person, but I actually am this kind of person about this specific thing.
Yeah.
And it just like, when I tweet something, I read it and I'm like, is this a good tweet? Does this make sense? Is this like logically coherent and sound in and of itself? Mm-hmm. And if it's not, I either make sure people know that it's a joke, or I just don't post it, So I just don't know what's going through these people's minds where they're saying things like, oh, I don't ever worship celebrities, but I really believe that Lizzo was never going to do anything wrong.
She plays the flute, Ethan. How could someone who plays the flute be
and she's
evil?
An ally. Do you think she's going to get a Dole sponsorship?
A what?
Isn't that company that sells the bananas?
Chiquita.
Dole
does sell bananas, but Chiquita also sells bananas.
Chiquita?
Yeah, Chiquita. It's a more a Dole is like pineapples and bananas and yeah. But Chiquita does bananas. That's it.
Right. I've never heard of Chiquita.
You gotta be careful. Bananas are what blew up a whole street in Pittsburgh. Remember?
I do remember that.
Be careful. It's like sticking a fuse up your. Never mind.
Regardless. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that's been happening too that's been bothering me.
Yeah, we just came back and stuff hit the fan. You had a whole tweet.
Bishop Barron thing is really frustrating me. Yeah.
So I do want to talk about this. I do have a
yeah. I think this is relevant too. I wanted to talk about the Lizzo thing because I just was like, first of all, it's insane. And if you haven't heard the story, I'm not going to say it live on the podcast, but look it up.
It's obscene.
Look it up or don't look it up. You should look it up. It's crazy. It's crazy and it's really funny, but it's also not funny at all. But it's just
charged.
Crazy.
She was a crime. She was charged.
She's charged with crime. But
I'll be on the jury. I volunteer. I want to hear everything. I want to hear what happened.
I guess if I have to watch the tapes from the club, I will. What was that joke where someone on the trip was like, I turned on this movie and I was gonna watch it on the plane, and in like the first scene there was just like two girls kissing. I'm like, oh, that's horrible. What was it called?
Great joke.
It's always all time. It was really funny.
What was it called again?
It was just to make sure
for research purposes.
To make sure that I don't click on it.
No, I'm never gonna click on it. What was it called?
I'm just kidding. Obviously, that's wrong.
Now is that the one that came out in 2019 or in 1985? I'm not, just so I really make sure. I'm not Googling it or anything. I just want to.
No Google. So let's talk about this Bobby B thing. So there are a few things I want to talk about. Two things specifically today. I want to talk about the Catholic speaker Eucharistic Revival thing, and I want to talk about the Bobby B, the gospel thing, because I think you would have some good thoughts on this, and I think the discourse is raging, and I think the record needs to be set straight on both accounts.
Yes, the discourse is and it's basically the same discourse. It's a popular Catholic does thing.
Mm-hmm.
People mad. And wasting their time. So let's talk about it.
Yes.
Based on my understanding, you can correct my understanding, is that the Eucharistic Revival controversy is that the speaker list came out and the criticism was it's too right-wing. Was that the criticism?
I don't know. I didn't read the article.
I don't know, but Katie Prejean-McCready is not too right-wing. I would wager.
Yeah.
that's my
no, anyway, friend of the show, Katie McGrady, is a lot of things, but she is not she's not a right-wing grifter.
Not a right-wing grifter.
Culture warriors dominate Eucharistic Congress speaker lineup was the title. Which is insane to say culture warriors, and then Father Mike is the first picture that they show.
Culture warrior Father Mike Schmitz.
Yeah, culture warrior. And then Father Josh Johnson, and then Bishop Barron, I guess you could call Bishop Barron a culture warrior. He's more like a culture, pastor. You know what I mean? Like, he's just kind of there. He's not really fighting anybody.
It's incredibly. It's very funny to me that they
Christophonic.
Oh my gosh, it's funny. Yeah. Father Augustino Torres, famous culture warrior. It's funny they show this list of what I can only describe is a diversity coordinator's wet dream. They're just so like there's so many different kinds of people, right? But they don't go after the criticism that I've seen from Steubenville conferences and the like is that there's never enough like ethnic people, there's never enough minorities. But I guess it doesn't now. I don't really care about that criticism now because it proves to me that even if you did that, they'd find something else. The criticism is not. It's not from a place of charity. It's just from a place of contrarianism. Wouldn't it be nice if they found at least some speakers who are not from the Steubenville wing of the? Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the article. The U.S. Bishops' Conference has released the names of headlining speakers for next year's Eucharistic Congress in Indianapolis. Wouldn't it be nice if they'd found at least some speakers who are not from the Steubenville wing of the church? Okay, that's an exaggeration.
I didn't go to Steubenville. You picked me.
That's an exaggeration.
I can go. I can speak. I'm left wing. Dude, imagine I infiltrate the left wing. Forget infiltrating the right wing.
I don't understand how.
His criticism of Father Mike in this article is straight up an ad hominem. Listen to this. In one recent podcast, Schmitz discusses the origins of the papacy. Now, as Catholics, we believe that our Lord, anytime anybody says as Catholics, you can instantly not believe anything that they say after that. As Catholics, we believe that our Lord Jesus chose the 12 and confirmed Peter as their leader. But to assert that the papacy was invented by God himself is a little facile, which is crazy.
A wild thing to say.
That is a really wild thing to say. The priest is a little high-strung in this and other videos, and perhaps his staccato delivery is effective with some people. I found myself wanting to scream, "No more espresso for you. Father Schmitz needs to chill." Okay. It just...
I love this article. This is a crazy... Who is this guy?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm saddened by this, and it just kind of cements in my brain the National Catholic Reporter is just kind of a rag of a publication. Did you know that one of our friends used to work for the NCR?
Who?
Dude, guess. You're never gonna guess.
One of our friends used to work for the NCR. How close of a friend? Or is it like
pretty close? Like if we were hanging out, you'd like hang out with this guy.
Dang.
If we were all in a room. He's a homie.
There's very few guys that I'm friends with.
Yeah. He's not like someone you talk to regularly, but if you saw him in person, you'd hang out with him.
I don't know. Who is it?
Nick Sharappa.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah, Nick Sharappa used to work for the NCR. Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
He's Jesuit educated, so
that tracks.
But yeah, I don't know.
It felt like this spiraled from like we're putting right-wing culture warriors in the Eucharistic Revival speaker lineup to why are people even getting paid to speak at the Eucharistic Congress anyway?
Yeah, that's the way the discourse went. I think it's really funny. First of all, I think that the main criticism that these are all culture warriors is baseless.
Yeah.
Very silly. These are all very normie
right.
Catholic speakers.
Father Mike, Father Josh, even Bishop Barron, Father Torres. I don't know the lady.
I don't think people outside of the Catholic sphere recognize how normie even Bishop Barron is. Like Father Mike Schmitz is I mean this in like the best way possible. Father Mike is the most vanilla Catholic speaker ever. He is
the reason that Father Mike Schmitz has achieved what he has achieved is not because of anything about himself. Is because he is a perfect avatar so that people can project their fears and insecurities about Catholicism onto him. And then he is able to assuage those fears and those concerns in a very straight down the middle, I'm going to read the catechism and I'm going to read the Bible kind of way. He doesn't provide any cultural commentary. He doesn't provide anything other than his own spiritual reflections and his talks. Like, he's not polemical. He doesn't do anything. And I think that's by design, partially. Because
very good at it. And he has helped a lot of people.
Extremely good at it. Yes, because it's like, if I had to guess what his mindset was, is he knows that other people are doing those things and they're better at it than he is.
Yeah.
The thing that he's really good at is talking about what the church teaches, preaching the gospel, praying.
Yeah. That's the other thing is that...
And being an orator, which few other people are good at.
The other crazy part about the Father Mike criticism is that he's not in the public eye. Like, the thing that he does is he speaks at 2 Focus conferences a year. He does the podcast, and he is the chaplain of his college.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what he does. And that last thing is like 98% of what he does. And he flies out to give 2 talks a year. And then sometimes, like, it's really hard. He's rarely even interviewed for things that are unrelated to the main things that he does.
Right.
Like, he's just very private.
There's a lot of things that I have said and that I will say about Ascension Press's media strategies.
Yeah.
But one criticism that I cannot lob at them is anything about Father Mike Schmitz himself. I think the Catechism in a Year is probably the stupidest podcast idea on the planet. And you can take that to the bank. But like, there's nothing about Father Mike Schmitz that makes it bad. It's just like, you have the world's attention here and you read the catechism. That just is very frustrating to me. You know, that's just not what I would have done. I would have started a poker stream on Twitch and I would have gambled. Which is probably why I'm not in that position.
Probably why we're here and they're there.
Yes, exactly.
But yes, so this just the vibes that I get from this are none of my people are invited, and that makes me sad.
Right. But like, who are your people? Do you want this to be headlined by who? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know who the left wants.
I'm not quite sure. I mean, just from a physiognomy perspective, this guy doesn't give me good vibes. So I don't really care what he has to say.
I love that people know about physiognomy now, because you can call someone ugly without having to call them ugly.
I know. He looks like, never mind.
Say it.
He looks like Ben Shapiro. Do you know that? You see it? Do you see it? Pull it up.
Kind of.
Pull it up. He kind of looks like Ben Shapiro.
I have it pulled up. I see him.
You know what? I'm just going to leave it at that, because if I'm not going to insult him, because if I say that, that's insult for him enough, because he's so obviously allergic to conservatism that even placing him next to someone conceptually would probably be enough. So, dude, Michael, if you're hearing this, you look like Ben Shapiro, man.
This guy's last paragraph is, "It's probably too late to pull the plug on this event. I will close by noting I warned the bishops 17 months ago not to let this Congress turn into a very expensive, very nostalgic boondoggle. It appears they did not listen." Dude, why would they listen to you, bro?
You're a guy. You're just
a guy.
I warned the bishops.
You warned
an article.
Oh, thank you. As soon
as gosh, the title of the article is that please make sure the Eucharistic Congress isn't a very expensive boondoggle.
Every bishop, when this slides across their desk, finally, I was planning on making this a very expensive boondoggle, and now I'm not going to. The freaking audacity of this guy.
I thought he was like, I didn't see the quotes, I guess. I thought he was summarizing what he said, but the headline of the article
quoting
is
himself verbatim.
Don't make this a boondoggle.
What the hell is a boondoggle?
What an unserious person. All right, let's move on.
Search Google for boondoggle.
The good thing about this, Michael, I know apparently the roasts that I make of prominent figures leave the podcast sphere and they get to their front door. So Michael, I need to let you know this. You're making our job incredibly easy.
Yeah.
You know,
if you'd like to come on the podcast and defend yourself, we'd love to talk with you, because I don't know. Here's the thing.
What I mean is this. Like,
okay, tell me.
Some people might know, might not know. We've been working with the Eucharistic Revival for like almost a year now, it feels like.
Yeah.
And we've been, working to promote it and make sure people go. And part of the struggle at first was getting people on board, because the discourse in the popular Catholic young person was like, why do we need to do this? This is so expensive. This is so blah, blah, blah. But Michael, thank you for providing a place to put all that energy and make it look ridiculous. So now people are very pro Eucharistic Revival because you're being so ridiculous. So thank you for making our job so easy by foil, I guess. Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
Michael, if you hear this, I'd love to have you on the podcast, because I think we'd have a great conversation with you, because I am so far to the right, I'm on the left. And Patrick is square in the middle, and you potentially are so far on the left that you're on the right, because you are advocating for the silencing of voices, so that you're
the Barbie movie of opinion writers. You're so far to the left, you're accidentally a conservative.
You see that people. I saw some tweet about the Barbie movie that made me laugh so hard. It was this guy quoting Greta Gerwig talking about the film, and her saying that she was inspired by her Catholic upbringing.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, oh, this means that it's actually based. And like, I told you guys that it's based and you weren't listening. But if you read the actual article, she says it's about like Barbie and Ken snapping into consciousness all of a sudden. But the woman comes first before the man. And she specifically says it's an inversion of the Genesis story. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's based because she's inverting this scripture, the story of salvation. Traditionally, anytime someone would invert scripture, it would mean because they're an agent of Lucifer, and not. You know what I mean?
Not very based, in my opinion.
Not very based.
Oh my gosh!
So I thought that was really funny.
Is the USCCB moving its HQ to @FranciscanU in Steubenville? No, but they might as well do so. Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. This is a good segue into our next conversation, because people are upset when people get upset about fame and money, mostly because they want it. So they don't like when other people have it. And I get it. I wish I was speaking at the Eucharistic Congress. I'm a speaker, and I enjoy it, and I'm good at it. I would love to speak at the Eucharistic Congress.
I just want a backstage pass so that I can rub elbows with the culture
right-wing
warriors,
grifter,
with the right-wing
grifter, Father Mike Schmitz,
with the right-wing grifter Chris Stefanik.
Anyway,
who I once argued with on Twitter.com,
and
about selling tickets to his talk. Believe it or not, so I've turned
with you.
I've turned around.
I get it. People are upset about fame, and if you're upset that all of the speakers at the Eucharistic Congress are from Steubenville, let me explain something to you in like very simple terms. The bishops don't care that they're all from the same place. The bishops want people. I said very simple terms.
Okay.
Not short. Nobody cares. The bishops, the organizers of the conference, don't care.
Sorry.
That they all come to the same place. They care about one thing, and that one thing is, will these people draw a crowd? So they need the most famous people. And those famous people all happen to be Steubenville speakers, because no single institution has had as much influence on the American church other than Franciscan University. What about Focus? Franciscan University influenced Focus. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is like Franciscan University...
I'm just thinking if there's an argument for Notre Dame, but you're probably right.
No. Notre Dame is out. What good has come out of Notre Dame besides Marcus Hart?
Luke Carey's graduate program.
Yeah, there we go. But Luke Carey went to where first? Yeah.
It's not ringing a bell.
No institution has had a greater influence on the American church than Franciscan University. And so if you want... I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. The Steubenville Conference speakers are the most famous because... they've had the most influence. And this segues well into the Barron thing where it's like, why does Barron have so much money? I don't know. Maybe it's because he makes the best stuff. What can I tell you?
Right.
You know? If you want that much money, make good stuff.
That's true. It does feel very like right wing in the wrong way when we take on that affectation where it's like if you want good things, then you have to work for them.
Fair enough.
You know, but
I don't think it's a matter of like you have to do it, because I think that you can take all the best practices in the world, and it's like I would add into that surrendering to the Spirit as like a way to like just rise and grind, surrender to the Spirit. I don't think NCR has done this. I think they're very much trying to white knuckle their way and think piece their way into like having cultural influence. Yeah. But the reason why Franciscan has had such a cultural influence is because of the prayer and the fruit of the Spirit of Father Mike Scanlon. And it's not like Franciscan has worked that. It's like I guess maybe what I'm saying is like no one owes you this. No one owes you a free, beautiful Bible. No one owes you a spot in the conference lineup. It's like, this is God's will, and God has done this. The end.
I think, can I posit a few things?
Yes.
Posit number one. Why are you laughing? I'm very serious.
I just like the word posit.
Posit number one. The reason that the church reached the level of influence and power that it did from the year 1000 to the year 1600 is because it had money. Can I say that?
That's one reason.
It's one reason. It's not the only reason, but the reason that they were able to build the most beautiful churches, preach the gospel all over the world, build up institutions like hospitals, universities, charitable giving, even things like guilds and trade organizations. All these things were all super connected to the church. Why? Because money was connected with the church in a way. Now, this is a major criticism that a lot of people have of the church in the Middle Ages, if we can call them that, because that wasn't how it was for the first 300 years, and then kind of between when like Constantinople legalized it. I don't know his name. Constantinople, when the Emperor Istanbul legalized Christianity.
It's a legalize it shirt, but it's a cross, just like
what?
Legalize it. Like you know how people say legalize it with weed, but it's like a picture of a cross.
No, I don't know about this.
So it's like legalize it, but it's about Christianity because it was illegal.
So Constantinople smoked weed?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Go on.
The church was a quote unquote poor church until it became like a Roman institution, and then it had all the backing of the Roman Empire, and the Roman Empire collapsed, and then it was, anyway. So the heyday of the church is when all of this power and influence and money was going through it. And so I think a lot of people, when they think about, I think that we're just so divorced from the reality of things, because like the amount of money that Word on Fire has is so minuscule. Like they don't have a lot of money.
We're losing our mind about a $20 donation. Do you know how much a ticket to a Taylor Swift concert costs?
Right. There's all these articles going around now about how Taylor Swift is giving out bonuses to all the truck drivers and all the people that are helping with the concert. It's like $55 million worth of just bonuses. Bonuses, not even salaries. Bonuses to all the people that are helping with this concert. So if she's able to give out $55 million in bonuses, how much money is she paying in salaries? How much money are the arenas making? How much money is her record label making? How much money is she making? And it's like we're wringing our hands. I'm gonna look up the $9.90 for Word on Fire right now, and I'm gonna tell you how much they make.
You can find out how much Brandon Vaught makes. It's not a lot of money.
2022
for someone who has 9 children.
2022. The full filing for Word on Fire Catholic Ministries. So if you scroll down, let's see here. I need you to vamp while I look here.
I think we've done this before, and I think it speaks to like a mindset shift that has happened in me, and I think a lot of us need to the church isn't playing with monopoly money.
Right.
You know when like you were a kid and you got a $20 bill and it was like you had $1 million, and now you're like you spend $20 accidentally at the gas station. It's like that's the reality here. Is like the church has the average budget for your local parish is $2 million, and half of that goes to salary. It's like
the net assets of Word on Fire at the end of the fiscal year 2022 was $27 million. Okay, the amount of contributions and grants that they got was $11 million, which is like about as big as like your local electrician, probably smaller actually than like the biggest electrician in your town. Definitely smaller than the biggest car dealer in your town.
Oh my gosh, car dealers are doing billions of dollars in revenue. Yeah,
revenue. So
revenue.
It's like
that's not even their inventory.
Like 27 million in assets is just so. Like if you compare it to the institutions that we're all familiar with, like Apple's market cap is like $3 trillion. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you?
Yes.
Like Catholic organizations are on such, even compared to other nonprofits, like the Susan G. Komen Foundation is $1 billion nonprofit. Planned Parenthood is $1 billion nonprofit. $4 billion. I know that for a fact. And so, like, to say that Word on Fire is just raking, like, you can have legitimate criticisms of things, but I just wish that people would like look at the scope and scale, and it's like, okay, I understand you might not like Bishop Barron, but why don't you want Catholic institutions to have more money? Why don't you want them to like have more resources? It doesn't make any sense.
It just absolutely, it makes me not believe people, because the discourse oscillates between Catholic institutions should pay people more and Catholic institutions shouldn't have any money, and it's like which is it?
Right.
Do you want them to pay people, or do you want them to not have money? Because they can only do one of those two things.
What we need to do is we just need to go guerrilla warfare, and we just need to start, like, anytime somebody says this, it's like, okay, how much do you want to make? Like, because it's clearly just about them. Like, they just want more money. Yeah. They want more influence. They want more power.
It's a projection. It's I don't know the word for it, but it's something that I used to see teenage girls do in youth group a lot. It was like, I want this thing. I want to be pretty, right? It's a good one. I want to be pretty. This is a thing teenage girls do all the time. I don't feel pretty. My friend is pretty. I'm never going to have that, but that's actually okay, because it's bad to look that pretty, and you're probably a W word. Like, that's what these girls do, because they're like, if you can't have something, this is what envy is. It's probably just the word envy. Is I don't want you to have it, so I'm going to make it not a good thing. So it's actually good that I don't have it because it makes you a bad person. And so this is what people do with money. It's like, I don't have money, but I want it. And so it's actually good that I don't have money because having money is bad. Same thing with fame. It's the same thing happens with fame. Or power. It's bad to have power. Or it's bad to have...
People who are mad about the speaker list for the Eucharistic Congress are the equivalent of a teenage girl being jealous about not getting invited to the prom.
That's funny.
Tweet.
That's true.
Post.
It's true, too. You posted it?
I posted it just now. Live.
Wow.
I don't care anymore. I don't care about what my image is on Twitter. I'm going to pistol whip kids. I'm going to tweet about teenage girls. Please don't clip that. Don't take that out of context.
I'm just going to go to the mall and I'm going to tweet about what I see.
That's true. That is what I'm doing.
You know, you don't need a Trenta caramel macchiato. Take a walk.
Who's Trenta?
I hardly know her. Anyway,
well, we got to do a dating podcast.
We really do. We also got to figure out a way to end this show because that was a criticism that we got, and I kind of agree with it.
What's the criticism?
Is that the show kind of ends abruptly now that we moved to a new episode?
The reason that it ends abruptly, you know why Mr. Beast ends abruptly? Because you can see listen to me. Don't laugh.
Uh-huh.
You can see the viewer retention graph, and if someone gets to their outro and you can tell that they're starting to wind down that video, people will just click off, and then they won't hear the thing at the end. And so if we end really abruptly and we say patreon.com/thecrunch, $10 and up a month, you can join. You can have the digital pilgrimage. Join our Discord, bit.ly/crunch Discord. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/thecrunchcast. Patrick, do you have anything else for the people? And then it's over and they're like, whoa, we just got all of it. We didn't even expect it to happen. Yeah. But if we start going, well, that's been our show for the week, and we're really grateful for you all to be here. And
there's no more content. I'm going to leave. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, exactly. There's no more content. I'm going to leave. But we hit them with it fast. Bam.
Great. So what are we hitting?
Huh?
What do we hit them with then? They're here.
Well,
they can tell we're at the end. We gave it away.
They haven't left yet?
No.
Are you sure?
They're still listening right now.
Are you sure we don't want to go a little bit slower?
No, I think we should keep the same pace.
Okay. Well, should I start now?
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We've had a good time today. If you like the show and you want the digital pilgrimage or you want to support us, because we want you to have the bonus episodes. We want you to be a part of the Patreon community that's exclusive on Discord. But at the end of the day, if you like what we do and you want to help us do more of it and reach more people and have better equipment and put more of our energy into this, it would mean a lot if you dropped us some money on Patreon. You can do $5 a month, $10 a month. That's the price of either 1 or 2 cups of coffee, depending on, inflation and what all. And so if you would like to donate the cost of an cup of coffee or 2 cups of coffee to the cause per month. I'm not even asking every day. I'm not even asking every week. I'm just saying per month. Patreon.com/thecrunch. What are you laughing
about? I'm sorry. I scrolled down on the tweet of the article, and it's just John Blevins replied with just a huge zoomed in photo of the guy's face, which is just
That's really funny.
Oh man, this is why you got to have professional headshots done so that people can't do that to you.
Right. I mean, you can zoom in on someone's face and then screenshot it and post it, and it's always kind of an own, unless you're really hot. In which case,
like I think your photo on Twitter right now is really hot.
Yes.
If someone posted a zoomed in photo of my face, my Twitter profile right now, I'd be like, yeah, I look hot.
Yours kind of freaks me out. Because you don't have the glasses on, and so it kind of scares me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't like me without my glasses.
We also have a Discord community with, I think we're 5 short of 500 people. So
we're so close.
bit.ly/crunch Discord to join our Discord community, and you can be a part of it. And it's really fun, and it's really cool. We make a lot of jokes. We tell a lot of stories, and a lot of people communicate. My wife is a content creator in there now, and she's asking questions.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to want to be a part of it.
There's videos of my kid saying that cold things are hot.
Every morning when I go to the bathroom and I release gas from my small to large intestine, I record it and I put it in a secret channel that only a few select individuals are in on Discord. So I pick, it's prime numbers only that join. So I pick all the prime numbers that join the Discord and I add them to that channel. So you know who you are. 3, 7, 13, 11, etc. I got you guys. I take care of my people.
Skipped 11.
I said 11.
Oh, okay. Is it the last one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I do that.
That'd be really funny.
It is
funny. Can you create a role for prime numbers and it's just people that are prime numbers?
That would be really funny.
That'd be really funny. Great. Well, thank you, guys.
Patrick.
I'm done.
Do you have anything else for the people?
Tune in next time for when I write a think piece about how I'm mad that I didn't get invited to host the Oscars this year.
Thank you all for listening. Please pray for us. We will be praying for you, and we'll see you all next week. I love you. Bye-bye.